Well, hello. Make sure everything's good. I'm pretty sure we are. Okay. We do need some of that, though. For my ear holes. I'll go with that. It's fine. Alright. We'll start the server just in case before we forget. Alright. Where the heck were we? We're going to have to write a couple things. We're going to need to do skills and abilities. And also we need to do this. We need to tidy this up just a little bit. We were going to see about... Let me start the widget picker here. Pardon me. So this guy just has a little bit of padding on him, essentially, is what's going on here. That's the main padding. That's the row. So we need to put a similar amount of padding on the button. We're going to pull that out into something we can reuse for this. And this is in the modifier. It's not that. We need to square that one up too, but here we go. Let's do that. That. Guess not that. And then symmetric. 5? It's pretty small. Not enough. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's a padding. So that hasn't changed anything. Oh, maybe it has. It's hard to say. Let me put that over here. We'll come out of that. Ah. It's because it's something in the default. Adding the padding is squishing the row down, I think. Or Is adding a padding doing? Absurd change. It's actually squishing, it's pushing the row apart. It's not because it's not a padding I want. Duh. Margin? No. I need to get. It's not a padding. Let me go into number picker. Text form field. Text form field. Sense form field. Unmanaged restoration scope. Huh. Interesting. Text field. This is gonna have to be. We have to go deeper. Because it just extends the text field. There we go. That's the state. There we go. Selection color, cursor radius, cursor offset. Editable text. It's for expands. Oh, you know what? Am I dumb? Row expanded. No. No, I didn't add this. Tell me where you're coming from in your... The whole thing. 48,300. That's a padding. This is the row. Height of 56. We know where the size box is where the 300 is coming from, but where is the 56 to 48 coming from? Is my question. What if I just add... What is the margin widget? Container has a margin. Shush. Container and margin. Okay. Let's try that. Let's put you in a container. Ooh. And then... Wait, no. Wrong button. This one. And this is an edge. Inset still. Symmetric. It was... I think it was 5. How does that look? We put you in there. Also problematic. Also just pushing. Why can't I make... Must be misunderstanding something here. Put that back. If we take this out just for fun, you're still too tall. We do. Interesting new problem to run into here. That was not what I wanted at all. Sized box. Consistent text field and button heights between web and mobile. Okay, that's not quite my problem. Here, let's try this. There is, within the style, which we've already mucked around with here, I think... Oh, we haven't. Okay. We have material... Okay, because it's a floating action, but we do have material tap target size. So let's do that down here. Shrink wrap it. See where that gets us. Roughly the same. That's annoying. Let's get rid of that since it didn't do us any good. The other thing I was thinking is... if we don't have an icon, does that make it... No, it's still too big, so it's not the icon pushing it out. Huh. That's extremely frustrating. What if we use the small instead? It's not terrible. And it would save us some effort for sure. And what did it look like before? We didn't actually square it off before. We probably should have, but that's fine. I think I'm okay with that. We're doing better in that we're kind of keeping consistent by having it be square. And that at least makes it the correct height. Let's go with that for now. Maybe later I'll decide I hate it and worry about digging further. But let's pull that guy out here in just a second. Actually, let's do that first. Let's get you over here. I'm going to actually pull you out into here. And I need to super key you. There we go. Get rid of that. I'm not working on that right now. Swap you with that. We're going to return that, and we're going to use delete button, and then import that, and then we're going to need to have this just needs to be a func. I don't need that. It's a redundant initialization. Should, in theory, actually be able to just do this whole thing. This whole thing in here, like so. And then take this out and do that. And voila. Oops, I shouldn't have closed that. I should have toggled. That's okay. I'll go back in. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Hunching over here. Let's not do that, eh? Okay. So let's go ahead and do a commit for that. Extract, delete, button, widget, zoom, widget in modifier, edit panel, field. Good enough. We're going to need to do... Let's just work on this guy here. Here in my on pressed, this becomes 0. We can just do a set state to update things. I should check and see if I can put these inside a set state. That'd probably be the more correct, in theory, way to do this. Okay, so that works as expected. If I put you into my set state, then you do still work. Let's make extra sure here. We'll move you inside as well. Yeah. Love it. Okay. Let's also tidy this up. We're done with delete button, I think. I lied. I'm going to pull you open again. So I'm going to cheat. That's shape. That's what the property is. Shape. Rounded rectangle border. Empty one. That should make us nice and square. And it does. Perfect. And I'm actually going to pull this out into a widget as well. Don't forget that. Let's call you add property instead. We're gonna need a function for you too. Oh my gosh, I can't type. That. That. Hang on. Oops. There we go. Scaffold that in, and then we can pull you over. I need to fix. Import that. I'll need to fix the name here. Just one sec. Return that. This comes back out. That. Do I need this even? Or can I just put in set state? Yeah, I need a func. Like so. That's not a comma because it's in the ternary. Forgetting anything, I need to remember. Rename this to property button. Fixes that too. Okay. Everything should be peach keen, except for that little glitch in something. There we go. Looks pretty good to me. That's not reloading, but that's fine. We need to do that functionality still. If I do that, it'll be back to a 1, or -1 rather. Perfect. Let's go ahead. And do extract add property widget, consume widget in edit panel field. One more thing off the old to-do list. Okay. Now I think we're done with those. For a second, we need to add the logic. ID, name, description, help text. Those are all mandatory, so they don't need it. Stacks itself is a checkbox. It's fine. It's on or off. We leave you. Save stacks other property modify. We're kicking down the road, so it's just modifier, and then we need to start adding this logic also to duration. Duration will need it. I need to look at this guy here. Oh my gosh, I'm tired again today. So these can be nil. We need to No, that comes at the validation. We're good here. We need to just do the same thing. For this child, of the sized box. Yeah, this guy. We need to say widget effect duration. If you're null, otherwise we add this field. So if you're null, we need to do add property. On pressed, we need to say set state in here we say what have I messed up here? That's what I have messed up. Okay. That, in theory, except we would need to call a number picker has an update value. That's still fine, but I don't want to do that because we have to do a toString on you. We set you in set state, but that doesn't trigger this. Would I need... What were you... We had you in here before. did update widget. We do need old widget, which is going to be no, this needs to be the number picker itself, I think. Yes, okay. We probably want to do this beforehand, but we're doing that. Does that break things or make things better? So if I did that, I need to add my delete button before I can test that properly. Just fine. Here, after you, watching you live for the first time, can you explain to your building the editor for a mud engine server? I would need to do right here. And I think we needed to add another one of that. Wait, was it? This went first. It is that. It's both. And then the case, if it's not null, we need to add delete button. Otherwise, nothing. This needs an on pressed. We need to say set state. And in there we need to do a null of that. Okay, so now we need to also add a space. We were using 20, spacing 20. Easy enough. There we go. Okay, that still doesn't put my... I wonder if I need to do... Let me comment this out really quick. I wonder if I need to do an actual duration in here. Still no text in there. Okay. And I don't think this will change it. I don't think anything's going to trigger that widget to update it. Should it knit? Oh. Oh. Okay, so 0 seconds just doesn't display. Okay. Was that actually required? Am I silly? I'm losing my mind? Okay, no. So that's not required. We just need to have an actual duration. It won't display 0. But then if I was to set you to 0 and save you, we need to build that logic still. Hey, stop that window. Okay. Perfect. We're going to do more or less the same exact thing for the tick time. Let's pull our spacing down in here. And actually... yeah, I'm just going to do it in here. That says effect. Duration. is null. Let's spell that correctly, it'll work better. This is the else case. This one we need to do add property on pressed. We need to set the state. And this is actually tick time, not duration. I messed that up. Tick time. If you're not null, we add a delete button. Twitch has a momentary freak out. Otherwise nothing. I forgot of that. On pressed, we do fact tick time, or no, sorry. Yeah. We set that to null. We need to set state U though. Inside of a func. One too many of them. Don't need that. What am I missing here? What am I screwed up? I'm missing a comma. There we go. Perfect. Damage protect needs to be done as well. Let's do a commit here though. Add state and, or rather add buttons and swapping for empty duration fields, duration and tick time. Good enough. I'll know what that is hopefully in the future if I have to dig through there. Damage per tick. If you are 0 or null, well, actually, I don't want to do 0. It's gonna be part of our validation. I just want to make sure you're not null. Same deal. Our spacing in here. Wait, no, this is the wrong one. This is block slog out. Damage per tick. That's where I want you. Size box here. This is my else. This is add property. This is on pressed. We do we need to do a function, and we need to do you in a set state. So after my size box, If this is not null, delete button, otherwise null. In here, on pressed, funk it up. We say set state inside of which we know that. And now we can mix and match. Now I want to check and see, was there something we were doing about... So if you don't have a tick time, a damage per tick is kind of silly. I think I remember checking something to do with that. Let me check what this is. That's restream telling me I had a blip earlier, and that's fine. I think I remember trying to do something to help clarify that that was a silly thing to do. But I could be mistaken. Oh, we did effect does not tick. Ooh, I do kind of like that. And this was contingent on it having a tick time. That's probably better behavior. I kind of like that. And I also added this little helper here. I do want to do that. That's good. Oh, I was cooking with that. But that's okay. Let's actually just let's bang a commit in for this really quick. Add buttons and swapping for damage per tick. Okay. So. Could just add a text. To this. We have an add property. Ooh, but then we would have to do... We'd have to either do it outside here with another null check, or wrap this row, or wrap this in another row, or, yeah, a row for multiple children. Then we could do text, or not widget, effect has no modifier, otherwise it's null. Then I would add, shrink this guy down. I would do that. Which actually doesn't make you... You're still a large boy. Because you're in the box and not... I could put this in here, take that out, and then add property comes out and winds up here in the case of it being null. And then I don't need to remove that, or I don't need to have that. Oh, I think I like that even better. I don't love that it wiggles. I hate wiggly UIs. That would be something in the number picker again. That's kind of haunting me. Next button. Form field. I wonder if you would be... Thin input decoration. Input borders none. Build is true. You wish to know... Oops, that was not what I wanted. Well, now you're filling the hole. This being extra large must have been pushing it out before. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense, but that doesn't fix... I guess that kind of pops too, but... I guess we would need to set our sized box to have a constant height. Right now we're only doing width. And it was like 50 something, right? What happens if I do that? You're still a wiggler. Oh, that was only a modifier. I should probably double check. 50's okay. I'm happy with that. But I would need to... cross-axis alignment. Center them. I still won't do that, though. I need to... Oh, you know what? It's, text align. line vertically. That's gonna just do horizontal, I think. Yeah, I want to line vertically. It's a text align. Only uses targets of redirection. Vertically. I have to wrap you in a line? It's annoying. Oop. Let's just see if it works first before we get too crazy. That is nice. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's an improvement. I should. Hang on. What's the height? I'm pretty sure it was close to 50. Row, yeah, it was 48. That's close enough. It'll be 2 pixels or whatever bigger. I'm totally okay with that. And those guys are just their own. That's fine, because they shouldn't wiggle around. Duration. We're gonna put you at the end again. Right here. And then here. Center you. That. Here. That. 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 And then I don't know that I need... Is there a case where you'd want to tick but no damage? Not currently. I'm like 90% sure. So let's do this. Let's move you here first. We can do the same thing we have here. I think I want these guys not... both horizontally and vertically. Center left, I think, is what I want. Double check, that's a damage per tick. Yeah, yeah. Much better, much better. I like that a lot more. Okay, so... think... I think for now, we take these out, actually. We leave that in. We leave that in. And then up here... we null both. And we do... that. So that way we get both adding themselves. Same as before. What did I miss? I missed somebody with a height. It was you. It's you. Oop. Wrong place. There is where you belong. Okay. That hopefully does not wiggle. Perfect. Then you come in here. I need to make sure that this will parse correctly. It's to do in my test here. Let's actually do. Let's close all this crap that got open while I was looking at the inspector. I need to do you duration to parse duration. We parse out of order sloppy human durations, i.e. 1s10m. And then let's do a commit here. Add explanatory text for lack of effects. Toggle damage per tick with tick time, like old editor. There we go. And then we also need to do down here in the blocks logout. I want to do what did I used to say? Is recommended to set blocks logout to true if the effect ticks. I'm going to leave that here like that so that we can do, is it style or is it text style? Selection color. It is just style. This is a text style, which has color, theme of context, color scheme dot error. Yes, good, perfect. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap you. So we're gonna say widget. Well, actually, if there's blocks logout is false, and fact dot tick time is not null. Do I need to put you in here? I probably need to put you in here. Yes. Then we're going to display that. Otherwise, null. So that goes away when we select that. We need to put a space in here a little bit more. That's fine. But this should also go away if there's not that. Perfect. Row. We were doing 20. I like that. Very happy with that. I did a good job when I thought that up. Okay. Display message blocks logout if effect ticks and it's not selected. Okay. Let's do a quick break so I can grab a beverage. I'm thirsty. I'll be right back. Much better. Okay. Adjust that a little bit. All right. Let's do. Let's do this reload. How do I want to do that? Over here, when we did this, when we monkeyed with things, I do kind of like that. Reload. I think this deletes you entirely. Ah, it does. Okay, that should have been appearing always, so that's a mistake, but that's fine. We're rewriting you. I was noticing a lack of delete option there, so that makes sense. Think here. How do I want to make you? We could wrap you in a function and track your original values. That would probably be the cleanest way because this gets past an effect. I don't really want to reload from file. So as part of our init, oop. I would need to. You are init, right? We did you here. Init state, that's what you are. We'll do that. How do I deep copy a thing? Some goop on my. Probably sneezed or something. Don't want to plug in, you crazy front end people. I don't want to clone a list mapper set. So operator equals creates a reference. Okay. So the class needs to it's a very strange solution that you have there. Scott wants to do the same thing we're doing. I guess I can pull this over here. Edit screen, edit fields an object. Save and reset buttons. Yeah. I don't need that nonsense. Okay, so this is still open. There's no good official answer. Other people are saying to give the class a clone, which I'm not, like, super awfully terribly offended by. What do we do when we want to swap it back? We just set you to equal. We reclone you, essentially, I think, is what we do. I think that's probably the sanest way. Okay, so what we're gonna need to do, teach you how to clone yourself. And their answer... Back to the other one really quick. Okay, yeah. So basically we just need to return... So we'll put you down here, I guess, and we'll say... dot clone takes a status effect source effect, let's just say, and they use this here, and we do all the fields. So we say are you just mad that there's not... Yeah, okay, perfect. And then we do got this, but yeah, name What if I call you instead of source effect? Just source. That'll be less awkward. Description. Help text. Stacks with other. Stacks with self. Property to modify ID. Modifier. Duration. Tick time. Damage per tick. Let's log out. Is there any other? Oh, I need to give. That. Okay. I can't do. I don't think I can check equality directly of them. That's identical for the two instances are the same. I'd have to override double equals to do that, I think. Without pulling in a bunch of extra dependencies and crap. I don't really want to do that. If I override the double equals, then that could still catch bugs. I was looking for something that would easily just compare the two and prevent future issues. In the absence of that, you would have to then remember to double check the double equals if you were to add a field or something, which kind of would invalidate the testing, right? We could JSON them both, though. Let's do that. Let's do a test for that. That's a good idea this person had. I don't know why they got downvoted. That would be an extremely valid. Oh, I guess because somebody already said that. Okay, that's why. Yeah, let's do that. Tests, status effect, JSON test. This shouldn't really be JSON test. Let's rename this while we're here. Actually, hang on. We'll refactor rename just in case anything's referring to it. And we're going to say model test. Right now it's for the JSON stuff, but we're about to make that a not true. So we need to, let's just copy. I don't know, I'm going to gain much from copying. It's fine. We'll paste you in here. We'll say ensure that clone. Wait, hang on. Yeah, this will be fine. Well, no, I lied. Because if we don't add you to here, it won't get marshaled. So it still doesn't catch the error that I'm trying to avoid. Which is if we were to add something, clone wouldn't clone it because we didn't, unless we added it, right? Unless it was mandatory. And this required is actually going to go away soon when we worry about adding a new thing, because we need to be able to create a blank one. So yeah, I don't think there's any value in adding that. Okay. But let's go ahead. We'll commit that change for the to add clone. Add clone method to effect. Okay, so now when we init, we're gonna do in here late status effect original effect. We'll init our state. I think I need to make that private, but that's fine. This, it will be effect.clone. Why can't I call clone? Did I? What have I done wrong? Oh, the wrong thing. That's what I'm doing wrong. Ah. Clone widget effect. Okay. So that should stash that for us, right? And we just need to remember when we hit save that we need to overwrite that again. So let's actually do I might want to put these guys inside of the border like I did. I kind of like that more. Yeah. Only problem is... well, if we give it a size box, it shouldn't wiggle. I don't want it to wiggle. We might have to make it slightly bigger, but that's fine. Let's do... still in here. Another row. And we're going to say sized box. Width. We don't care. Height 50. Child in here is going to be another row. Because we need to do... what are you mad about? Oh, I forgot a comma, that's why. We'll need a bool to track unsafe changes, but let's just start with and button. In here. Floating action button. The on pressed for which will be to set the state. We're going to say dot effect dot or widget dot effect equals original effect, which can't be nil. What? Oh, effect. Ooh. That's gonna bite me. I don't think I can do that either if I do. Not that. Can't do that either. Also break the rules of a final, but I can't have it not be final because it is the... So I would need to do... me leave that for just 1 second. Do you not have a child? You have a child. Oh, I put you in the wrong spot, that's why. That's why it's not happy. Do that while I think here. Oh, we also put you in the wrong. This does not go here. We need you to be outside of the table. Grab too many. No, it should be correct. Didn't grab enough. That's what happened. I need you to be... Oh. Let me just put you in here for now. We'll fix that in a minute. We'll move things around. Just get it in there. We're going to need... a different solution here. And I can either do it here or... So I'm allowed to keep the same reference to this class, to the original one. We would just need to do... in here... not clone. We need to keep clone. We need to have another type of function that's just going to copy values, essentially. And can I do... instance method... Oh, internet blip there. Are we alive? I think we're alive. Class method. Not what I want at all, though. I believe this is what I need to do. This answer is just terrible. Okay. So I need to do avoid, because you don't return anything. And we'll call you copy? Sure. And you're going to take also a source. Return at the end, nice little explicit return. So what we're going to do is say, I don't even know if I need this, but yeah, I don't need that. Is this because you can be no? Oh, no, it's because I can't type. That's why. Like that. So then I would be able to come down here and say widget effect copy, and I do original effect. That I would be allowed to do. Okay. So theoretically, come over here and I muck about. That gets reset. If I need to do a rebuild here to completely load it from file, from scratch. So I come in here and I just start making some changes. That didn't work, did it? Wait, hang on. No duration, no tick, 0 damage per tick. This one's kind of wonky because it's got 0 values. I guess that one does too. So it should have no duration, no tick, and it should be -1 and 0. Duration doesn't get cleared. Why doesn't duration get cleared? Because these text controllers, these text controllers are a pain in the butt. That's why. So we need to do better with our text controllers. They need to like listen to changes to the thing that we need a way to bind them essentially. Let's commit this really quick. I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna yoink it though. Anywho, copy values from another status effect into same instance, and then rough in the reset button. Let's do that. And I'm thinking that can I so I can do that. Could override set state. I don't think that's going to give me everything I want. This has to be a thing people have solved. Bind text controller data class, let's just say. No binding in Flutter. Okay. That doesn't make sense. Um, model binding. There's a package for that. Unverified uploader. That's not confidence inspiring. If we were to override set state, theoretically any updates should happen in set state. So just for funsies, if we were to do that, I wouldn't be able to see here. Override text fires. Everything else is still working. So we could do that. But because number picker, which is kind of the main problem child here, I think update value gets fired here. When the object changes, but if we are to, because there's another, let's just test with duration controller. There's another. Let me clear this out real quick. It's not even here. It's from value. So you're using the value setter to update text value instead. Reasonable selection range. Setting this notifies all the listeners of this. I really want a selection to be preserved, though. We could print that really quick and then just say but I can't do that. Wait, hang on. You're not a number picker. You're the other thing. That's fine. Fine. It's the same problem. This needs to be aren't you? Or no, that one. We're gonna have to do that, otherwise it could be null, which would be problematic. We still need to do that though. Dart isn't smart enough to figure that out. So then, if I was to come over here and do that, that doesn't seem to work. Oh, because duration, it does default to 1 second. That still doesn't work though. Crap. Oh, you know what? Well, no, yeah, that happened before we called set state. So that function hadn't been run yet. What if we do after? Still no dice. Okay, so that's not gonna fly. And you're not a number picker, you're just a text field. We would have to do... It's did update widget. And this is... Do still need to do that, though. I'm pretty sure. We did duration. Except for... I should be setting it to null. So it should... Ah, right. Well, that's interesting. Hang on. My state might have been all wonky here. This one has no duration. If I add one... Did I... I forgot duration. I'm dumb. That's the source of my problems. Now it works. Was I totally shooting myself in the foot? Do I even need this? Just reload completely, or re-hot start. So you have no duration. If I add one, roll back, okay. If I take your duration away, totally was just shooting myself in the foot. That's why I wanted to test that if I could, right? Easy mistake to make with super obnoxious consequences. I was thinking that those widgets should have been rebuilt when we changed it, so I was confused, but... Okay. Disaster averted. This should be the same for... So if I have 0 modifier, a duration, and a tick time, all that, I resoar, it all comes back into play. That should have been reset. That's not getting set. I do have blocks logout in there. But because these get driven, crap. Wait a minute. Do we need these if we... I think we were doing this to try to roll things back. I don't think I need those if... That... I don't remember exactly what happened here when we were doing this. Do that, and then... Yeah, we don't need those. Perfect. Okay, so if I uncheck all those, clear all that, roll back. I believe that was correct, yeah. We need to fix that still. Why don't those update? Let me do a quick... Add missing duration. Copy. We do name, description, and help text all get changed. Oh, cool. I'm dropping frames again. That's fun. Internet's been great until like the past 2 days. Because y'all don't get rebuilt. I think. I guess the way to know if that's true, my theory be correct, is if I change that and I roll back. Okay, so that is still a problem in cases where we're not going from a null to back. So that's still going to be a prob. But let's just do name controller. Or not status. Fact dot name. for hex sample. And I go, bleh. Interesting. Is that void? I think it's void. That. What are you mad about? Lower camel case, okay. That's the correct. Okay, so then we can do maybe that. Okay. So we need to override set state to set up all of our controllers here. Are you? No, you're not, because you're just a label. That's fine. The UUID doesn't need to get changed. We have name controller. We have text controller, text. That, and I'm trying to think. I don't really care about the cursor position and composing state, I don't think. It says it's usually only used in tests, but I don't think we care about the rest of the stuff. So. This needs to be, oh gosh. Needs to be that. Yeah, I know it's complaining because that. Where'd you come from? Extra. That should be all my controllers right now. So if I go 1 hour, 1 minute, everybody gets reset. Okay. There. That'll work around that. It's a pain in the butt, but it do be like that. Okay. Let me leave myself a note here in my init. Or I could put it down here. To do on save overwrite old widget we have saved for rollback. Dude, how about to do? There we go. All right, let's commit this. Get rollback working. Good enough for right meow. And then I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go make lunch for tomorrow and go to bed. I'm tired. So tomorrow we'll continue getting this form together. That's the plan. But yeah, thanks for everybody who came and hung out. Not a whole lot of chat today, but I did see you guys there. I love my lurkers. If you like this kind of thing, come back again. I do this thing 2 hours a night, roughly. 4 days a week, starting on Friday, ending on Monday. So I'll be back again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. Twitch, you have a schedule. YouTube, you don't, because they make it hard for me. Anyway, love to see you again. If not, have a great week anyway.